Hello and welcome to another episode of Love, Life, and Energy. Today, I really want to speak about being in the flow of manifesting versus being in resistance mode. You're probably knowing what I'm talking about if you're feeling like things aren't working for you and you feel really stuck and you want to have some insights and answers on how to actually get unstuck. You're going to love this episode, so stick around. Hey, my name is Michelle Chung, and I'm a live manifestation expert, which means I help women manifest their soulmate live in person, offline. And I help career driven A type alpha women find their man so they can have the amazing, committed, and effortless relationship they deserve. So, yesterday I had this really good day. Was feeling really in flow and felt like everything was working in my life. And I reflected back on thinking, there were definitely moments in my life where I just felt really stuck. Felt like everything I was doing was not getting any results. Felt like I was just doing, taking lots of actions, but I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And even though I was moving, I was still stuck. I was just going around in circles, so to speak. So I wanted to record this episode about being in the flow of manifesting and having an amazing life where things work for you versus being in that stuck mode where things aren't happening and how to move transition between that stuck mode into the flow. So what I recognized was that, there was moments in my life, especially when I was single and I was dating, and even though I was taking lots of actions and I was going on lots of dates, I was very addicted to dating apps, online apps, and those apps that were like online shopping, you can really get drawn into that. You can really get stuck for hours just swiping and swiping. Just like some online shopping that I've also been guilty of being stuck online shopping in one of those amazing shops. And there's like thousands of choices. And you just spend so much time just, lost in that rabbit hole of just seeking and looking. And I do remember there was a point in my life where you know, things were challenging and, I wasn't in the flow and things were not moving and I was really just stuck in my love life. I just really didn't know what to do. Like in my work life, that was fine. My friendships were amazing, but it was just that one area of my life, and that was my love life. And I was really like wondering, how am I so stuck here when in the past I've had amazing relationships? I'd been married before. The marriage was great. It was amazing. There was nothing wrong with it. I had left that marriage because I wanted to seek my potential. I wanted to reach and fulfill my potential, and I wanted to do things, and our values weren't aligned. So that's the reason why I left that marriage. But there was nothing really wrong with it. And then came into being single, and all of a sudden, I just didn't know how to meet the right man, and I was just I was just so stuck. So what I recognized was that there was a resistance. There was a feeling of being really blocked, and that's why I was stuck. And you might recognize this in your own life if you feel like things never turn out how you want. Maybe, you're going for something, you think you're manifesting something, and you're just waiting and waiting endlessly. And it feels like it's never going to come. And things are just not, coming your way. Things are just never changing. Perhaps you have a lot of people around you who are complaining all the time, that those people are also stuck. And so stuck people attract other stuck people and they want to hold the same energy and be in that same frequency together. And it's just like you are who attracts your tribe, right? So if you're also feeling in that stuck energy, you might be attracting those people who are stuck as well. And those people who don't change or are trying to change or don't want to change, they're drawn to you and you stay in that stuck energy. They're the kind of people you might recognize that are sucking your energy, that they're always complaining, that they're always, talking about the same things. They're talking about the past. They're talking about the good old days, or why is it so hard? Why isn't it easier? Why can't we do this? Why is it this way? The people who have that energy, that love the gossip, that love to, keep things the same because they thrive on that energy. That makes them feel alive, but that actually keeps you in that stuck energy. And they're the kind of people who want you to stay the same because they feel comfortable being around people who are like them, and they feel threatened when they're around people who want to change and want to create a new life, and they might start to put you down and judge you and put you in a box so that you stay the same as them. So just be really aware of those kind of people. I suppose they've been labeled as energy vampires, the ones who suck the soul out of you. So just be aware if you do have any people like that in your life, and just gently let them go. And everything that we talk about in releasing resistance is all about letting go. Another thing you might notice is that perceived bad things seem to happen to you all the time, or major accidents, or life is very challenging, or you feel like life is really hard. Perhaps finances and relationships and health, all three areas have been very challenging for you, and you never seem to have a breakthrough in those areas or one particular area. That things are always difficult, and in your mind you're thinking, why is this so hard? Notice even in your language, are you always saying, oh, why is this hard? Why is this difficult? Perhaps you could change your language to challenging instead, so it becomes more of a something that you can overcome. So watch your language and notice if you're always saying, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know why this is, or if oh, this is so difficult and this is hard. So watch your language. Perhaps you're feeling that things don't work out, that there's no happy end in sight, that you don't see any hope or inspiration at the end of the tunnel, and you're feeling that low energy, that you don't want to do anything. You're very close to apathy, and just, what's the point in waking up in the morning? What's the point in repeating my day over and over like Groundhog Day? It's going to be the same as yesterday. Nothing changes. That feeling of apathy, almost depression, right? I've also had clients where they're feeling that every thought is negative, or that they can't, that their head is so busy and so heavy and bursting with thoughts and overthinking constantly, worry, despair, that your mind is so busy that you even wake up in the middle of the night worried, and you wake up in the morning worried, that you're anxious all the time. I know I've had this before as well, where I'm trying to imagine something, or all of a sudden I wake up in the middle of the night and forgotten that I've done something, or, I should have done this better, and just being really hard on yourself. And this is that feeling where your mind is so busy with thinking and overthinking and thoughts that are really not productive, and it's just taking a lot of energy. Your head is so heavy and almost driving you crazy, and you just don't feel inspired. And in that place, you actually can't hear any intuition. You don't feel any inspiration. You're not able to have messages come to you. You might even be going out trying to find your ideal man, but have a very seeking attitude. Oh, walk out the street. Is it the guy across the road? He's cute. Should I go talk to him? Should I get his number? The guy at the bar, maybe I should go talk to him. Maybe I should do the modern day woman thing where I go and approach the man and try to, engage him first, and go over my 50%. And I've talked about that in the past. Stay in your 49% and allow him to come into the 51% of the relationship. And that, then I've heard lots of women talking about, even going out with friends, and this is very common, but you're still scanning the room at every party and at every event, looking over your shoulder, looking across the room, scanning to see, is there someone who's eligible for me? And is he the one? And being in such a state of indecision and not following through with anything really, like you're trying a lot of different things, but nothing is really giving you the results. Now I want to transition into what being in the flow looks like, and how this is such a great exercise to do in your own life as well, to examine what are some of the things that have made you feel in the flow in other areas of your life. This is something I do in my online program, Manifest Love. What are some of the areas that you have felt ease and effortless and joy? And this is really where we want to be. This is This is the energy of manifestation. So being in the flow and manifesting easily, it really looks like when you're relaxed, when you're calm, when you're happy and excited about life, where you're passionate about your life, your work, the projects you're doing, perhaps you're volunteering, you're giving of your time and energy, and even money. There's a concept called tithing. It's a very ancient concept. It's more in religious spheres, but it's also a very spiritual practice of giving part of your income because you're coming from a place of abundance. Even if you don't have much, it's of giving first and not just giving back, but giving first, where you're in a place that you're so full of love and abundance and giving from a place of abundance that you're thinking on how can I serve others because I have so much for myself already, that you're open and sharing and nurturing and you're not giving from a place of scarcity or I need to have enough for myself because I need to have enough for myself before I can give to others. And if you are in the first place, I know this can be very difficult to transition and understand. How could I ever be in a place of giving if I don't have my partner, if I don't have love in my life? How can I give first if I can't even have that for myself? And I know it seems like a very tricky situation. When you're in the flow, it's really effortless. And that's why I've titled my book, How to Stop Dating and Be in an Effortless Committed Relationship, because that's really what life is about. And that's what really an ideal relationship can give you, that it really is effortless. It's when you discover things and the right people and the right messengers and messages come into your life without you having to search for them. You've simply asked for them, you've manifested them, you've requested them in prayer, that things just come into your life. And this is being in flow. And this is really, it's not hard. And it's this feeling of, I always used to say, there is no such thing as coincidences, that people and ideas, they come into your life and into your life path as if by magic. And it's like, oh, wow, that was a coincidence that that happened. And all of a sudden I applied for this new job and wow, that happened really quickly. It was effortless. There was no real trying involved. It was really a perfect fit. And that's how we want to go about life. Always going through, guided by intuition to be in that path of perfect fit. And when we do have a problem or you're at a crossroads in your life and you do have something challenging, and we do grow from challenges. I'm not saying that life and everything in life is meant to be easy all the time. We grow from our challenges and what stops us and what blocks us. But the difference between being in the flow and the resistance is that the resistance means that you're not meant to be in that part of your life. There's something that that is stopping you, that you have to overcome that obstacle first. And that will give you access and growth towards what you want. So being in the flow also looks like when you do have that problem or you're at that crossroads, you can actually step back, that you feel okay to just let it go and not have to control the situation, have to overthink and have to micro analyze and micromanage the situation and get that immediate answer straight away. That you can be okay to just step back, just let go, give it some time, just be open and just focus on something else that you're passionate about in life. And in that moment, be in the silence, ask for messages from messengers or angels. They're the universe's angels in the form of other people. Those people are called to their purpose. They're meant to be on their purpose so that they can also be intuitively called to share ideas or contact you in some way. I know I've definitely had angels in my life where I've received an email or a message with that perfect opportunity, that idea. It was a sign. And these are things that you can actually do when you're in the flow, when you're coming from a place of emptiness and non-resistance and openness and flow. You can ask for signs, and lots of very spiritual people, that very conscious people, recommend that and say, when you're in that silence, you can ask for a sign. It's kind of like what people used to do with prayer. God, give me a sign for this XYZ that I'm on the right path. And you can absolutely do that, and it totally works. And with that sign, when you're in the silence, you're able to actually recognize that. Your intuition will call you, turn down that street, or, call that person, or that person starts calling you on the phone. And it's like, wow, that's such an amazing coincidence. Because when you're on your purpose and you're following and taking actions inspired by who you are and what you're meant to be doing on earth, there is a huge ripple effect that happens. You are in your circle of influence and you start to influence those around you. You will start to turn up in someone else's life as their savior, their amazing coincidence in their life, the solution to their problems. And that's going to be you. And your soulmate, he's going to be also waiting for you and wanting to receive you into his life as well. And he's going to know that you are the one he has been searching for. So do you see how being in that flow and that contrast of being in resistance is such a different energy? It's, I guess, more and more people are starting to understand energy and starting to be sensitive to feeling it. And this is really the state we want to be in. I know that we can't achieve this all the time, and we're not meant to, is the law of rhythm and the law of polarity, the opposites swinging to and fro, masculine and feminine, left and right, inside, outside. There is a flow in life, and we need to adhere to these universal laws as well. But being in that state of flow can give you so much more grace and purpose in your life, and flow and ease. And it really is meant to be effortless for us. Now, when you're really stuck, like I mentioned in the first part of this episode, what can you do to get unstuck? Well, firstly, to notice that, to be aware that the first step is to release that resistance. That release, that resistance really is the thing that's blocking you. It's the emotional, mental component that's stopping you from meeting your soulmate and have him come into your life and having that effortless, committed relationship. Now, if you're interested in understanding how to get unstuck and release that resistance, make sure you register for my free webinar. Put the show links I put the notes in the show links below in this description. Check it out. Make sure you register. It's going to help explain to you exactly how to get unstuck, how to release that resistance, why you're in that pattern in the first place. A lot of it has to do with childhood and beliefs and subconscious programming that I love to do that kind of work, because it really is the essence of why we're so stuck and why we're resisting. So make sure you go check it out. I'd love to have your feedback. Any questions, make sure you contact me on my Instagram at Michelle Chung Coach. And I really look forward to sharing more ideas with you every episode. So make sure you hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to this podcast, and really just share the love. If you've loved these episodes, you've loved this podcast, make sure you share it with your friends. I really appreciate it. And giving first, passing forward. And that's really what life is all about. So take care, and I'll see you next time.